Hello everyone, my name is Raven. I'm going to start this out with a little bit of an introduction, I would say, a little intro to this. This is going to be a new series I'm starting to, like on the side of my ranked series, kind of showing you kind of my thought process for builds and whatnot, how to make my AC and whatnot. So I figured we'd just jump straight into it. The entire purpose of this build was that I wanted to stagger the enemy as quick as possible and try to capitalize on it, but kicking is only so good for the really, really lightweight guys. It actually scales better if you're in a heavier AC. So I went ahead and, decided just to stagger as much as possible with this setup. And it works really effectively. I've staggered tanks no problem, and it feels really good to stagger the big chunky boys that are bipedal as well. But I already know that its main weakness will probably be the guys that can really kite well, or the dudes that can just stay in the air constantly. I assume that's what's going to really counter me. I'm just going to have to run into it more often. I've had it a few times, but it's just part of it. I made this AC, though, and I will tell you all this. It's a little bit of history. I made this AC whenever I was just a lost streak. Like I could not get any real like boots on the ground in this game, and that's why its name is Sunken Hope, if you will, because I just was at an all-time low in terms of like actual confidence, I would say, in the ability to make an AC that can be competitive, if you will. And as soon as I made this thing, I noticed an instant reverse in that, where like I was winning matches, I was actually contributing, and it goes to show you that half of this game, even if it's not half, it's like 60 to 70% sometimes of it, is in the garage and really learning like what you want and need out of an AC. It's interesting to learn that firsthand rather than just playing PvE in the story, like that's a different story, but playing against players and learning that you need these very certain elements in your build, or you at least need to learn how to play in a certain way with these things, is very interesting, I will say. That's why I think I got hooked immediately and I wanted to make this AC. This is going to be the first one of many ACs I've made for PvP purposes at that. So I'm going to start with the actual pieces rather than the weapons first, so bear with me. This headpiece here, I found that I only really picked it in the very beginning for the attitude stability, but it turned out to be, you know, actually higher on the list for priority than I thought. It's only outclassed in that regard by the Mind Beta, so it actually is pretty good. I really chose it for that and its weight, obviously, but, you know, it's just hard to pick a decent one sometimes. So beforehand, I was using this one for, just maximum speed. And that was a problem I had, was just like blinding myself with wanting to only go as fast as possible. I needed to kind of hunker down and think about what I needed to actually fight other people's ACs. So I went with this helmet right here for the attitude stability. It just felt like the right move. The core, I pretty much kept it to the lightweight, dream of just like going as fast as you can. But the main thing here I really appreciate is the generator supply adjustment. I think that's what that is, and the generator output adjustment. It just helps so much to keep the generator up in battles of attrition. So whenever you're fighting guys with bigger generators or just like, better setups overall, it will just, let's just say, better managed setup when it comes to energy. It can be a bit nicer for us lightweights to have this little extra edge on these guys because we can always be doing a quick bursts, quick boosts, all that good stuff. It helps tremendously. I recommend you try it if you haven't already. Another one that's really good is this one, the Alba. Really helps a lot. It's only a few points less than the one I'm using, but you also get booster efficiency, so that's also a real good bonus in my opinion. The arms, I'm also gonna go ahead and recommend the Alba. Firearm specialization is key for me, and recoil control is only okay because I'm not using automatic weapons. I am dealing with pistols, but we'll get to that in a minute. No melee, so I'm not worried about the melee specialization at all. I used a few other of the arms in here, but they started to be too heavy, just a little bit too heavy. You can see it on the side. My boost speed goes down tremendously, and I just couldn't have that personally. So I stuck with these. They're lightweight enough. They have good stats. I recommend these. The legs, it's just a no-brainer when it comes to wanting to go fast and have decent jump distance and height without being a reverse joint, that is. The Noctrier is just too good. I love these legs, and I'm a reverse joint guy at heart. I can't even speak, I'm sorry. I'm recording this a bit late. But it is really good, these legs. If you don't know, please try them out a bit more. I mean, a lot of people run them, a lot of lightweights run them for good reason, and you'd know why if you run the same kind of setup. Trust me, it's okay. Just give in. Alright, anyway, booster. I was using this one in the footage beforehand, like my first two ranked matches and a couple of my team games. I used this booster for better speed, but I found that I actually like this one, the Alula, for the dodging, the quick burst speed, the quick boost. Sorry, I always say it wrong. I apologize. But it feels a lot better for a lightweight to have that over just going fast sometimes, because we already naturally go fast a lot of the time. So we want our dodges to be pretty decent, you know, more often than not. But I'd also say that both sides are good. It just kind of comes down to what you would prefer. Like, do you want to just go fast up front and have okay dodges? Then you go with this one. But if you want to kind of give your dodges a bit of a boost, but you already know like your normal speed, your boost speed, you're only losing 9 here if you see it here. Like, look at that. That is not a big difference. So you're gaining, what is it, like 46, oh, sorry, 56. I'm really bad at math, I apologize, on the quick boost speed, but you're only losing like 9 on boost speed. I think that's pretty fair trade-off, and all the other goodies that you get on the side here, but we're talking boosters just for how fast we're going to move, not for like, you know, the melee lunges or anything like that. None of that matters to us right now. The FCS, it's close range only. I prioritize just being as close as possible. The Ocellus, I don't know how we pronounce it. Amazing for this. I recommend it highly with the arms I've chosen. The generator, this one is the lightest one I could pick up that had a good energy recharge and a supply recovery that I really liked. It's kind of hard to find a good generator that you can appreciate. I recommend just playing around. Like, my favorite one is this one right here, the Santai, because of how much you actually get in energy, and it's decent enough on the recharge and the recovery where you pretty much have it all the time. It feels amazing, but it's a little heavy, so I couldn't fit it into this build. But I do use it very often. I use assault armor because I'm a man. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't care if you guys don't think it has utility. I love it. It feels good, and it just the chef's kiss whenever you cancel out other people's stuff with it. So good. Now, we've ran through everything else. Let's talk about my weapons. I'm using the Ducats, the long pistols. They have amazing stagger, amazing impact. They even can outclass the needle guns that people love, but the fact that the needle guns kind of are more consistent in how fast they shoot and their bullets are just kind of like bam bam there, you know what I mean? Like the pistols, if you use them, you know they kind of go off course sometimes and they can be a little wild, but when they land, they hit harder than the needles. So consider that. Just saying. I feel like it's good to know this because if this thing ever gets nerfed, the needle gun, which it probably will, one of these days, these things will be the top dog probably for lightweights, I assume at least. Other than, where is it? This thing. This is a new love I have right here. This little burst machine gun. I cannot describe it. Dual wielding these things, it's just chef's kiss, but another build, another video, don't worry about it. Pistols on each side, of course. I went ahead and used the bullet orbit as well to help with stagger. It just helps put pressure on the enemy, essentially, and I find value in that as a lightweight, I would say. But the missiles, they're kind of like only really here so I can have something to shoot at them either when I have them staggered or just kind of on the run and it tracks pretty well. They're not bad. They're not the best, I'll tell you that for free, but they are pretty good. I actually, kind of grown fond to them in this build. It fits them rather well. Hopefully, this helps you understand a little bit of my insight. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching.